Hey, what's up, everybody? Man, yesterday was insane. We did like a nearly 14-hour stream, really try to like feel out as much of 320 as we could. And I just want to talk about what I've learned, the experiences yesterday, and what I'm thinking going into today. We're just going to keep this short and sweet. We're just going to go kind of chronologically based on what I learned and what we were looking at yesterday. So right off the bat, the Atlas passes, we got those right before 320 actually officially launched. So while we were waiting for the launch, we were looking at those, and they all look insane. So we have PoE planner here / atlas-tree, and this is where we're able to look at it very nicely. You can also get it on the official Path of Exile website. I'm not going to go over all of them right now. This is just a general video, but they all look really, really insane. I encourage you just to type in the nodes in the corner here, whatever you're looking for: Expedition, Breach, Blight, whatever. There's crazy, crazy nodes. These Abyss nodes are so crazy, like guaranteed 4 pits, so many monsters. Like if you want to just stack the most monsters possible on a map, I think it's going to be like Breach and Abyss. That looks crazy. We can also open up to 4 breaches at once right now. And then, if you get really lucky, we saw these ones, you could get like 16 plus breaches without even a scarab or anything. Get 20 plus breaches with everything, when everything procs if you're really, really lucky. The metamorph ones are super bonkers. So right here, 1,000% XP per 10% VAT filled. So that is 10,000% XP. Now it's just for the metamorph, but that is killing a lot of metamorphs at once. that's the XP of killing 100 metamorphs, right? That is so crazy. Not to mention for a 5% chance for dropping scarabs. And then we get another 250% per monster modifier quantity and 1,000% rarity right here. They're all super, super crazy. My plan personally is to kind of go with the old trusty, is I'm going into Expedition as much as possible. With all of the plus chance for Expedition, there's 40% base chance to get an Expedition on the tree right now, and we can influence that very strongly and go for whatever we want. Especially I really, really like Tujin and Danig right here. Whatever you like, honestly, at this point on the passive tree is good. I think basically farming anything is going to be really strong. Find the thing that you like. It's just crazy. We're going to find really cool combinations of things like people taking advantage of Rogue Exiles for the Delirious monsters, for more Cluster Jewels, Deli Orbs, all that type of stuff. We're going to see all those strategies come out over the next couple days. But I just wanted to say, kudos to GGG for this. This is one of the most exciting things in the game right now. We'll comment on Forbidden Sanctum. I think that this is a very interesting mechanic. I really like it so far. I think there's going to be a lot of tension here. It is a very, very big change of pace of how you play Path of Exile. It really slows everything down. It really does. You have to dodge everything. You can't just build evasion or anything. Especially early on, your character will not be able to out DPS anything. You just have to dodge everything. Really, the intended way that this is meant to be played is like you play it for that meta progression of getting those relics. And I think eventually you're going to get combinations of those relics that will just make your character incredibly strong. And you could probably do the first 2 floors basically for free once you have that unlocked, as long as you don't get unlucky based on the rooms that you find. The call out here is Act 2 and 7 in the Fellshrine runes. You'll find Divinia in the Act 2 one, and then you'll just find it in Act 7. Is just like a little bit south of the entrance in Fellshrine runes. There is just like an underground entrance. You go in there, you click on something, and that will give you the ability to use the relics as well as to get the dark packs, which have the upside and the downsides, the afflicted packs. Yeah, and then you can only reset your relics at the beginning of the run. So if you're in the middle of it, you can't do that. So you can see that my relic effects, I have like very, very little. I have 4 different relics that are all kind of just like whatever. These downsides are really, really scary. We're gonna keep playing around with this mechanic. I think it is too early to directly comment on how it feels in the long run. I love the look of it. The new enemies there and everything, like especially this boss, the double boss right here on floor 2. One of the coolest looking encounters in the game. I actually find the bosses so far, both in floor 1 and floor 2, incredibly easy. Like really, really easy. The floors themselves are actually like pretty challenging though, depending on the debuffs that you have. Yeah, this is a really cool mechanic. We got to wait for it to suss out. There's going to be patches and all that. Definitely feels like it's probably pretty bad for melee. You do lose less resolve if you get hit in melee, but if you are in melee range, you're going to be hit anyway, and it definitely is kind of rough. Definitely a win for like totem builds and anyone that can play really far away. Bane is really good for this thus far as well. So yeah, I think there are still going to be tweaks, give the feedback to GGG in a constructive way. I do feel confident that they're going to put some more work in this. They patched so much yesterday. There were some bugs yesterday that were encountered with like 4-socket shields and a couple other things like that were fixed like almost immediately. Within about 4 to 6 hours of the league launch, they had patched like 5 times and just fixed a ton of bugs. And it feels incredible so far. The launch was really, really smooth. A little bit of instability for like the first 30 minutes, but after that, it just felt really, really good. One of the biggest wins. Arch Nemesis is dead. Let's go. Yeah, for the people that read the manifesto and were trying to be, I don't know, contrarian and saying that Arch Nemesis, oh, it's not dead. Da, da, da. It's definitely dead. It is very dead. Bye-bye. Thank you. It's gone. Now, some of the Arch Nemesis mods are still there, but they're much, much weaker. Like Molten Barrier is just Molten Barrier. And sometimes you can stack them. You can get Molten Barrier plus Mana Siphon or anything like that. But on average, they're way easier. It's just like you don't even notice you're killing the rares half the time. It feels like old rares. And the loot just feels way better. It's insane. Like on average, you're just seeing tons and tons of loot from the rares. It is definitely tuned up. I mean, we have the loot section right here, but these just go hand in hand. The loot's crazy. I don't remember having this much loot ever in the past, particularly while I was leveling up. But also, I was stacking a lot of rarity too, which felt really good. I mean, just in the Discord a couple hours ago, someone killed a rare that he said, hey, this was a really tanky rare. And this was the loot that he got from a single rare. Like, this is on a whole nother level. It's insane. Like, this is better than loot goblins, right? Because we're just finding this naturally. There's no culling or anything. I do encourage you to stack your rarity. It is really, really good. As you can see on my character, I have been stacking it as much as possible. We'll get to that in a second. It's a huge A+ on this. They also added new bonus things. We actually had Bex in our Twitch chat yesterday, and she was confirming some of the stuff. People were asking like, hey, I just killed a rare and all of my gems leveled up. Is that okay? And Bex just did like a winky face. They've added cool new stuff. And like we're seeing, we're a lot of white sockets. We're seeing more sockets in general. It happened to be like 4 or 5 times. Is all of my gems leveled up from killing a rare. This is an A+. I think they did a great job. And then we still have the feel of, you can not like it, but, you see Mana Siphon or Magma Barrier, and you're encouraged to actually play around it. But you're going to feel more loot when you see it, which is pretty cool. Just A+ feels amazing. The way that this feels now is that the loot just feels great. I felt like I had access to a lot of stuff. I actually ran out of Wisdom Scrolls over and over again because I just wanted to identify everything that dropped. Actually felt like loot was a little bit better rolled than average. Many people linking items to me that were like, hey, in Act 2, I found a staff that was like +2 all chaos.multi. It was like almost a Cane of Unraveling. Just feels like everything just feels better across the board. I don't know if they kind of just kept doing tweaks there, but I don't know how anyone can complain about it at this point. And then the other thing is that I have been stacking rarity as a consequence of me playing Ruthless and seeing in Ruthless, right, every item's dropping white. And being able to push that rarity up was actually pretty noticeable. I've been stacking rarity on my gear here. I have 55% right now, and that's actually after me kind of backing off a little bit. I had more than this before, but I wanted to make my character a little bit stronger. Yeah, if I find a gold ring or gold amulets, I actually think these are like tier 0 uniques at this point. I think rarity is incredibly valuable now. I'm even using a gold flask here as well. So now I have 85% rarity as I'm mapping around. I keep running out of wisdom scrolls. I'm identifying everything. I'm dropping about 3 to 4 uniques per map on like I can't exaggerate how many uniques that I'm getting. Like I'm basically SSF right now. Done a couple exchanges with some of the viewers, but besides that, I'm basically SSF. It's just so much. Like if you want to collect uniques, like and especially knowing that there's really good uniques that they've added in the game, I want those uniques to drop. And then we know that we do have the old Arch Nemesis currency conversion modifiers, so we can have better and more currency drop. Being able to stack that rarity will give you a lot of benefit. And so do strongly encourage you to just get that rarity in there. You can argue against Magic Find. I am not a big fan of Magic Find traditionally. I've done rants against it in the past. It's just kind of like, hey, this weak mod that makes your character weaker, but hey, loot's better. But now, you know what? I'm going to be reformed this patch. I am going to lean into it and see what it feels like. Maybe I just, become like Steel Mage in the last Stalling podcast, and I totally convert and say I love it. But I do have to say, it is fun right now. Just like knowing, like seeing how much loot is dropping by, like, honestly, low investment, right? Like my character actually feels really strong. I don't feel like I sacrificed that much. It's been fun. I do encourage you to do that. And then I just wanted to comment on how my actual league start went here with Bane. It is better than ever. It feels absolutely incredible. Just like no more Mr. Nice Guy right here. Honestly, I truly think on the tier with something like Cold Dot, I think Bane's up there. I think it is a very, very solid league starter. I mean, in my opinion, is pretty proven at this point. But there's just been like some weird takes over the past couple days with certain people saying that Bane is bait or Bane's not, whatever. But luckily, Captain Lance backed us up and said that Bane, Bane is not bait. Confirmed by Zeus right there. Bane is not bait. All of the thousands of you guys that have played it and love it, have confirmed that over and over again. We had so many people coming in chat just saying this build is insane, easiest league start ever. I only took a screenshot of a couple of them, but we had at least like a dozen people yesterday just absolutely saying this is my best time, my best experience through the axe and early maps that I've ever had. You guys loving the build and enjoying it, encourages me to continue playing it and tweaking it and making it better for you guys. And I'm glad that you guys love it. And we just got to keep proving the haters wrong, I guess. I don't know. So Bane feels absolutely incredible. I did a Deathless Act 10 Katava. I have been pushing maps a little bit harder right now. So I've died 4 times. I'm a softcore trade. Did full Deathless Katava, fully hardcore soul stuff on Viable. Since I've been doing, some casual hardcore racing recently, I am much more biased towards doing a Wand and Shield variation. It's not quite as much damage as a Cane of Unraveling, but it's not that much less. And the defense and mobility that you get out of being able to use shield charge, especially, you just can't overstate that. Like the mobility that we get with being able to shield charge and get around is pretty incredible. And then you get a whole shield with a ton more armor, more life, more res, everything. Hard to overstate that value for a defensive characteristic. You can go for an energy shield based shield, which sucks. Like we don't really want to stack that much ES. We can still get like 100% increased spell damage and +1 chaos gems as well. So you can get a lot of damage on it. Not quite as good as like a Cane of Unraveling, but pretty close. My wand here, I bought this for 5 chaos last night, once I was in maps. I had like a white wand basically until I killed Katava, and then I bought this for like 5 chaos. Just some chaos.multi, chaos spell skill gems, and some spell damage on there. That's basically the stats that you're looking for. And yeah, it feels really, really good. The big change, right, is that the curses now will have full effect on unique monsters. And yeah, I didn't really notice the losing the curse effect while mapping on like, just regular monsters because Profane Bloom carries us so hard. Especially the one thing that I did is instead of using temp chains when I was on like a 4-link, instead of using temp chains, I actually just used punishment just to make sure that we were doing as much damage as possible. Did really like doing that little tweak that I did. But yeah, regular links here is we're doing Bane, Despair, Control Destruction, Temp Chains, and Punishment here. You can interchangeably swap like Control Destruction with Void Manipulation, based on the colors that you have on your 5-link once you eventually get that. And then 6-link will just be, put that gem in that you're not using. And then I'm running Grace, Determination, Defiance Banner, as well as Vitality, the classic. We use Vitality to offset the mastery here. You can see, it's a little annoying if you like overcast, you can hurt yourself here, but as long as you're not overcasting, your life's going to go up pretty nicely. The addition here of the 30% AoE is huge. It makes our Bane like a pretty respectable size, even at lower levels. So we don't have to really worry about the AoE there. I was using Arcane Expanse for a while, but I unspec'd it when I didn't need it anymore. I am currently using Steeped in Profane. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this. It is nice to have another 20% increased curse effect right there, as well as a little bit of defense. So I have Ghost Dance right here. We're going to be leaning into a little bit more evasion and energy shield, just grab Soul Thief, stuff like that as I level up. But yeah, passive tree is, basically as you've seen in the POB, nothing particularly new here. Feels absolutely spectacular. I am taking the shield nodes right here because I'm using a shield at the moment. My goal with this build here is just to get about between 2 and 4 Void Stones. I don't know if I'm going to play it long enough to get all 4 Void Stones, but we can definitely kill Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds, get those first 2 Void Stones, and have just like a solid build that can farm and, have a great league start, get kicked off. Like I always say, this is not like a big boy bosser build, but for about 100 chaos, you can kill Searing Exarch and Eater of Worlds really, really easy. That's SSF viable. And then for between, 300 to 600 chaos, you can get to Cirrus, Maven, and even Uber Elder. Then once all those bosses are down, you're out of your league start. You can put even more money into it if you want to, make those bosses really easy. You can definitely dip into the easier Ubers, making this build comfortable for like Uber Cirrus. That is definitely a bit of a stretch that will take like a lot of money and it'll still be like a little annoying. But for me, this is a 10 out of 10 S+ league start for getting those Void Stones and just having a great league start. I honestly don't know why there's contention here. I just think it's just like objectively proven at this point, but whatever. We're just going to keep, if we like what we like, we just got to keep on doing it. My progress right now, I am in tier 7 maps. I just got so tired by the end of the night. It did take us a while to kill Katava because we spent a lot of time going through the Sanctum, trying to feel it out. But yeah, that's my whole findings, my whole experience from yesterday. It was an absolute blast. I am really, honestly, just optimistic about the future of 3.20 and just Path of Exile in general. This was a great league start. Everything from the manifestos and the communication, the launch, the quality of what they've given us this patch, it feels absolutely spectacular. I think the Forbidden Sanctum itself will probably need a little bit of tweaking to be good for more build archetypes. Definitely I think melee is probably going to be a little bit uncomfortable right now. But besides that, we got the new memories, we got the Atlas passives. There's so much to enjoy. I haven't even touched any of the new Vol skills or anything. I'm so excited for it. So anyway, that's it for me. That's my day one findings, and I'm going to go get ready for the stream. Hope you join me there, twitch.tv/subtractem, whatever. But otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.